not counting bed clothing and extremely messy days, which happen pretty often around here, we have easily 6 loads a day. And that's Sunday too. That would be easily 42 loads. And then you add up the, 4 nights a week of softball. Oh gosh, I guess it's 50 to 60 loads of laundry a week. They've got a ball game later on tonight, so I figure if I get them washed now, I can air dry them hopefully in time for the game. Isn't that something?
What is laundry day like in a family of 13 sons and 1 daughter when you have your own ball team? We have an all Arndt family softball team, and some years we've played as many as 100 games. Some of the most common questions my mom especially has been asked over the years relate to laundry and what it was like in a family like this. In fact, we did a YouTube episode a few months back about laundry, and that was one of our most viewed videos. Today, we're going to show you another laundry-related clip, but this one goes back even farther than the last one. At the end of this clip, I'm going to come back and I'm going to tell you how things have changed in our family since many years ago when this was filmed. I'm also going to share with you a secret strategy. I kind of think of it as like one of our superpowers that I think has allowed us to be organized and survive all these years with laundry and other things. So I'll see you on the other side of this.
Well, I'm working on laundry like I do every day. Paul had the wonderful idea of having a ball practice this morning at 9 o'clock, kind of impromptu thing. All the boys ran out to have a practice on the field. They were in the process of raking it. We had an extra long grass from the rains, which was good, but it kind of played havoc on the shoes, and so I find myself with a couple more loads of laundry here today. They've got a ball game later on tonight, so I figure if I get them washed now, I can air dry them hopefully in time for the game. Isn't that something? You just peel this stuff off. Tough to be a girl around here. The ones that I can wash, which is most of them, will go through the washers, and it's going to make an awful noise. But I don't put them through the dryer, it bangs them up too badly. And again, that makes a lot of noise. But it'll dry just well if I turn this fan on high and I open them all up real good and I set them on top of my washers. It gets to be kind of a funny sight to see how many feet we have in the family. But you guys had dirty feet. Not to mention you all made a bunch of laundry, and so I'll have extra today, but that's okay. A lot of people ask about the dishes or the with the laundry, who takes care of what job. At this point, I still pretty much take care of doing the laundry, just because clothing's expensive, and I can catch when something's going to be getting stained, how it should be washed, things need sewing, buttons. I'm always doing something. I put on probably 6 buttons yesterday. That's just my life, I'm always trying to repair the stuff, and also if it needs ironing, or maybe by doing the laundry myself, I can prevent quite a bit of it from needing ironing. If I get the shirts out early enough, they still are fluffy. And so I pretty much push all the laundry through, fold it, sort it, and get it ready to go to the right places. But then have the kids actually do the legwork of that just to help speed up. What helps us with the laundry, we've got the problem of having so many guys, men, all the same size. Rick's the same size clothing as pretty much his 6th oldest and almost the 7th oldest. And so we've got initials on the labels on the back. They're hard to see, but little initials for each one of the boys, whose shirt it is. But I just hang up all the older guys' shirts here. Anything up here would be for the 6th oldest. And if it's Rick's, I just put it straight to his closet. If it's for Philip, it goes within this area. I hang it. Seth, Jacob, Nathan, Mary Elizabeth, and Caleb. And then Peter and David's clothing is too small to hang. I just fold it, and they've got a couple drawers in my room. So, and then we put all the short pants here. And right now, as you can see, Seth needs to go through those because that's only shorts for the 6th oldest. And again, they are labeled inside. He sorts them. And Seth's job is to sort and put away the older guy's shorts and the shirts up here. And then Caleb gets me hangers, and he's supposed to have 2 or 3 baskets full of hangers for me ready all the time. And actually right now I'm pretty caught up on laundry. I've only got 4 loads in the wash and dryers, and then these 2 shoes. I didn't have to do any bed clothing, so it's not so bad today. What we do is when I'm doing my white loads, I have a full load of course, all the socks, underpants, and then also the white towels and wash rags and all that we're using down in the kitchen, or hand towels from the bathrooms, are usually washed all in the same load because it's a pretty good sized washer. What we do is after it's washed and dried, then I take them and sort them between 3 different baskets on the back of this table here. I put all the socks in one, the underpants another, and the small hand towels and wash rags another. Peter now, I've just trained him maybe the last month or 2 to take care of that job. And I know he's always going, why do we use so many towels and wash rags? He's like, arg. And that's such a small part of the laundry, but to him, because it's his job, it's such a big part. But he folds them up and organizes them, and I'm trying to teach him where to put them. Right now, he just puts them all on a table in their little piles, and he's learning which ones are made for the rag drawer. Maybe we're washing windows with them, or if they're for the kitchen drawer, or if they go in the hand towels in the bathrooms. And Nathan right now takes care of the socks. These jobs are constantly fluctuating. About the time I get someone good at it, we move the next younger person to it. But Mary Elizabeth was doing it now. That's Kayla's job, because she's gotten really good in the kitchen and is enjoying that so much. And that's such a help for me. It allows me to go on to deeper cleaning, because she's doing some more of the basic stuff. So it's working out. A lot of people, that's always a scary thing for people, is to keep up with the laundry. And they'll be so intimidated by how on earth you do it just for their 6 kids or whatever. But they don't realize you get better at all this after you've done it for a while. I've been doing this for, Paul's 27, I was 28. I've been doing it for a lot of years, so, of course we're gonna get better at it, I hope. I'm hoping not to get worse, And, all these new mothers, if they just give themselves time, they'll get a system going. The big thing is to organize it. If you can get to a point where you establish a place for everything, and then make that truly the place, and for the kids to know it, then after a while they get to where they know where to look for it, they know where to put it when it's out of place, and you've got allies. But we women have to kind of appreciate even though it can be aggravating, you think, well gosh, can't they just put away, can't they establish a place? But it's kind of our home, and we're the ones, even though we get the pressure of having to decide where everything should go, we get the privilege of getting to decide which place feels like the right place for it to be. And I know for me anyway, my kitchen cabinets, it makes a big difference to me that, that the cups go here and not there. That's not right for them to be there. And yet to someone else, that would be the right place for it. And heck, I kind of like being the one in charge of how my kitchen goes. So I figure if we just establish it, once I have established each of the places, where the things go, then I can expect that everyone can help put it away. So we do a pretty good job. We've got a pretty good system going.
Man, that brings back so many memories, just that era of the family, and just 100 games of softball a year, sometimes 4 games a week or more. The washers and dryers, I don't know how they survived all these years. I think the original ones are still in our house. I'm not completely sure. I'll ask Mom. But she still has the 2 washers and the 2 dryers up there. Things are naturally just so different now with all the marriages and new households, all the grandkids, and just so many changes. So we don't have the 40 or whatever loads of laundry a week anymore here. Anyway, I told you I'd tell you a secret, what I consider one of the superpowers in our family over the years. I think a really big thing that helped our family over the years, especially when we were still growing up and all living in the same household, is we would tend to specialize in different tasks. You saw from this video, some of the younger guys and Mom, you saw examples of that with Mom doing all the laundry for so many of the years. Well, during those eras, I would, for instance, lead all the outdoor work. Somebody else like Luke and James, they tended to do a lot of the IT, computer repair. Others, Jude, would help with a lot of the babysitting. Just everybody had their own specialty. It doesn't mean there wasn't overlap, but it seemed to really help, because really a big family, for those of you who haven't experienced it, it's really kind of like being in a corporation, like a business, where it really helps to almost have like a marketing department, a management, janitorial, just all these different categories. Now, obviously, we're spread out more. So, of course, you have to learn a lot of these skills separately. You can't always just rely on that. But I have to say, it really was a superpower for us. I mean, can you imagine in our family of 16, when we lived under one roof, if we all tried to do our laundry individually? It would have just been complete chaos if we would have had 16 of us in there trying to schedule, doing our own clothes and everything. We really would have had to have our own laundromat. Thanks for watching, guys, and you can watch one of these videos next, and let us know in the comments, what do you want us to talk about next time?